I've finally had enough with the Ultimates. It's never been a good book by Deniz Camp, but it has gotten progressively worse and worse. And it's basically just a book about Deniz Camp's fake reality that he thinks he's living in. And it's not really about the Ultimates. It's not about what Captain America would do in this new universe, or Iron Lad, or any of the characters in there. It's all about Deniz Camp and all his weird fears and fetishes about what's going on in modern society, which can be done well. See also Alan Moore, but in this case has been done very poorly. I did kind of enjoy it at first because it was so over-the-top stupid that it was fun, and I can enjoy something stupid and realize that it's not good and still have a general enjoyment of it, especially the Gamma Island monstrosities. I really like Diaper Neck. I really like Crab Hands. I really liked all those stupid characters because it was so far over the top stupid. But now it's gotten progressively more into the I'm fighting real Nazis today type of thing. And I can't take it anymore. Issue number 10, easily the last straw. I never took the series particularly seriously, but at this point, I just can't waste my time anymore. And there are different, takeaways from the book. And this one's actually from Gabe Hernandez, friend of the channel, comes on the Aficionados every once in a while, good guy, reviews a lot of comic books. And this is the way that he describes The Ultimates number 10. The Ultimates 10 is a sickening turn for the title when the writer transforms a developing team of heroes into a death squad for sentimental and ideological reasons. Deniz Camp's poorly constructed script serves as little more than a platform for his fetish to kill those people, only marginally saved by Juan Frigeri's cool art. At this point, Camp may need some type of intervention. And I think that Gabe brings up some really compelling arguments there, that what separates a superhero, a Captain America, a Thor, some of the characters that we got in here, even a Hawkeye, although he was always a little bit more damaged than a lot of the other Avengers out there, and just like, I don't know, a hero like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator. What is that, Dutch? Where he's like murdering the shit out of people? Is superheroes actually don't kill. But in this particular comic book, you've got the new Ultimates, and they just go and raid this compound because they believe they've got Namor there, but it turns out he's dead and he's been mounted on a wall. Although he was like killed by Atlanteans in front of the entire nation of Atlantis and then sold, I guess. And even at one point, Captain America has a really strange line as the original Human Torch is reminiscing about he being the one that actually killed Adolf Hitler in the beginning, saying, enough with the great stories about killing Nazis back in the day. Let's go raid the compound. And it's like, Captain America, well, certainly he will use lethal force if there's absolutely no other option to him. He certainly wouldn't feel good about it, even if it was Hitler. It was a really weird thing to say, but that's the thing. That's the problem. It really has nothing to do with Captain America. It has nothing to do with the original Human Torch. And it's just them repeating the same weird woke talking points that have basically turned a lot of longtime readers off to comic books. And it just happens over and over again. And the weird thing is, you're not allowed to criticize this book. You can't say that it's bad because it's poor writing. You can't say that it's bad because it's poor characterization. You can't say that it's bad because it has nothing to do with the Ultimates. It's all about Deniz Camp and his weird fetish about what he believes is actually happening outside his window, which is clearly demonstrably not true. You will be attacked viciously all over social media. I'm sure I'll get lots of comments in here on the YouTube video here talking about it, calling me a Nazi and a bigot and all these type of things. None of that stuff works on me or anybody sane anymore. But you're not allowed to criticize this book, which means obviously there's something very, very wrong about this book. Think about the things you're not allowed to criticize. And then when you kind of open the box and you look deep into it, you realize, oh, this was fucked up from the very beginning. And that's how I feel about Ultimates number 10. Now, not everybody holds my opinion. In fact, there was a review from the Comics Book Club, and these are their claims concerning the Ultimates number 10, which really does amplify why I don't like it, but it's why they love it. The Ultimates 10, and really the whole series so far, represents the world outside our windows, and it's very much of the moment, later emphasizing the bulk of the issue finds the team invading a compound held by the new version of the Red Skull. Not only is the Skull built an army of disenfranchised men, they've also co-opted the symbol of the Punisher, white men who profess they feel stymied by society and find solace in a paramilitary group powered by hatred who could that have to do with that's happening in America today, right? Obviously talking about MAGA people, because we're all alt-right paramilitary people, apparently, which obviously isn't the case. We can look at recent history over the past 4 years, and there were a lot of what I would consider paramilitary groups going out there and burning down cities, and none of them were MAGA. As far as I could see, they were fucking Antifa. But they always end up blaming the opposition for the exact same thing they do. Like, this is not the world outside of your window. When's the last time you had a group of like white nationalist militia going out there and doing stuff and harming people? I don't really remember it. The last time I can remember it being in a topic was like an attempted or planned kidnapping of the governor of Minnesota. And then when you actually looked at what happened, of the 16 people I think that were involved, 14 of them were FBI informants, i.e. the FBI was making it happen. It was a deep fake. And I don't like white nationalist, militia, skinhead, Nazi people. In fact, I'm diametrically opposed to everything that they stand for and believe in, and I think that they're awful people. But I don't see them going out there and burning down cities. I actually don't see them going out there and hurting people. Who I see going out there and hurting people, at least in America, are Antifa. When I look at Europe, the people that I see going out there and hurting people in mass are illegal immigrants. But some people have been so thoroughly captured in their mind by mainstream media narratives that they literally cannot believe what their eyes are receiving, and they just make up stuff that isn't happening. And that's really what this comic book is about. And you can see the comic book club really bought into it. Oh, this really represents the world outside the window. This is very much the moment, which means it's very much bullshit, because that is in fact what we're being fed a healthy diet of, within the Western cultures these days. And now that we've got disenfranchised men coming together in Western cultures, they must just be Nazis. They're going to co-opt the Punisher symbol and go out there and try and string up minorities left and right. None of that stuff is happening. I don't think there's a groundswell movement for any of that stuff, at least not in Western Europe and certainly not in America. And I don't believe that's happening in Canada either. But this is what these morons believe. And it's this weird progressive fetish porn thing that Deniz Camp is serving up people. And this isn't a new thing that I've been putting up with in the Ultimates. It was so stupidly entertaining that I was willing to put up with some stupid shit. But at this point, it's not even stupidly entertaining. It's just plain stupid. And it's frustrating. And they kind of allude to it in the comic book club, saying that it's going on for the whole series. This is what a random British dude on Amazon that bought the book, verified purchase, had to say about the first volume of the Ultimates, which I think includes issues 1 through 6 from Deniz Camp. Most disappointing is that the book falls into the trap of so many Marvel books of putting message over story. The entire second half of the book is spent telling readers how awful white people are and how evil capitalism is. It's cliche and dull and especially disappointing considering how Spider-Man got it so right and how well the original Ultimates book by Mark Miller was able to weave politics, action, and story together so well. I don't know who that is, but it's clear and ever and present within the Ultimates, and it's very, very frustrating. It's okay to be white. It's okay to be German. It's okay to feel pride about being British or Irish or American or wherever you're from. If you want to take pride in your culture and your history, there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm tired of men, especially white men, not being allowed to be proud of their heritage and history and culture. I don't feel bad about myself because I'm white. The fact that I'm American doesn't make me feel bad about the history and culture of American stuff like that. I can look back and see that there were problems, but I can also look back and see that very many wonderful things were done. And I can also acknowledge that I didn't do any of that stuff, whether it was good or bad. I am very blessed to be American and have the benefits of what was done before to build up this great country. But those sins don't wash on me. I didn't do them. But also the good deeds, I don't get to take credit for them because I didn't do them either. I am just me. And I do not have to feel bad about anything. And I am tired of mainstream culture trying to make me feel bad for stuff I can't control. I didn't make myself be born in America. I didn't make myself be white. And I'm not going to feel bad for any of that stuff. It's just this weird thing. You should be proud of who you are everywhere in the world, unless you're white. And that is what Deniz Camp is absolutely obsessed with in this book. Go see the new Hawkeye. It was exactly what I said it was going to be. It won't be a cool Native American version of Hawkeye. It'll be a depressed, marginalized Native American that's, upset about what happened on the rest. That's exactly who the character is. Just started blowing stuff up because he's justified, not because what his actions are super heroic, But because he was marginalized, he's a person of color, he's allowed to just destroy things. Capitalism is in fact not evil. Capitalism is the greatest economic system that we've found in the world. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Are there going to be winners? Yes. Are there going to be losers? Yes. Even people with great ideas are going to be losers, and even people with terrible ideas can be winners within capitalism. It just kind of works out that way. The thing is, everybody has a chance to step up. Everyone has a chance to go up in life if you yourself choose to do that. We're supposed to feel terrible for things that we can't control. Never. Not in this world. And this is Deniz Camp's thinly disguised killing Nazi fetish. And I can tell Deniz Camp is somebody that was in a war zone. You know, I wasn't shooting people left and right or anything like that, but I certainly had a part to play in a lot of missions and stuff as far as planning and operations and discovering things that were going on out there. It's not a great feeling. And I don't think Captain America would ever be reminiscing and being so happy about all the Nazis that he killed. It's a harrowing experience being in a war zone. It's not fun. You don't even really do it for God and country after a while. You just kind of do it for the guy next to you. And that's what it is, at least for me and a lot of the people that I've talked to. And Cap would never respond that way. But Deniz Camp doesn't realize that because he's so fucking spineless and he's such a wuss that he would never, ever go put himself at risk for the benefit of other people. And this is the guy that's supposed to be telling me what fucking superheroes are about. No more. I'm quitting the series. I'm done. And I've got no more time for absolute bullshit shenanigans like this book. The comic book club, you know, they're just buying into this weird fake reality that the mainstream media and the government and all these NGOs and USA and all this stuff has been pushing on us for years and years, and they haven't fucking woken up yet. It's time to realize we've all been played. And fucking morons like Deniz Camp probably will never wake up. He's probably too far gone to ever realize that he bought in hook, line, and sinker to the biggest load of bullshit possibly in the history of the fucking world. That's how stupid this stuff is. If you appreciate the conversation here and the conversation about comic books, because you can't get that very many places, like I said, I will get tremendous amounts of pushback on this, but I don't fucking care. And if you like that message, if you like honesty, and you want to be part of the team and part of moving Think Critical YouTube forward, the best place to do that is to support me on Think Critical Patreon. There's a link in the video description. There's a button right here. Lots of great podcasts, lots of great extra videos. You go there, you find the right tier for you, you become part of the family, you get a superhero name, and you get to be part of the mission moving forward to bring some goddamn sanity to comic books once again.